Migration is really what brought us together. And if you think about it, Ian is Irish. He has his own massive history with regards to colonialism and migration in the Irish sense and the Irish struggle. Rebecca's, Italian, Australian, whose grandmother was German Jew who escaped to be able to then give life to this family. And then myself and Mehdi, we were Iranian, and we left when we were kids. We ended up moving a lot across Canada and ended up going to high school in the UK. So we each obviously have our own very kind of real experiences. This is not theoretical in that sense of what migration does to the human experience.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. That's the next album hit.
Because he's like, it changes rhythm.
Yeah. I mean, again, lots of these are crying out for like footwork style rhythms,
Well, I'd love to do that.
But not with the footwork sounds, not just using like 808 or 909 drum machine sounds. Not that they have footwork sounds, but like. This is great. This is so catchy, all this stuff. I want to make.
Yeah, I know.
Great.
There's so much room for you.
Yeah. This is so memorable, though. It's lovely.
So you can do something.
This project's about roots. It's about displacement. It's about being on the move, but it's also about roots. So what are the roots of these samples? Who are the people behind the samples? And I asked Mo, would you be able to invite to my house people that worked on these tracks so we can film them and we can build the film out of the, finding the roots of the samples of the music.
It could be the... Light-wise, you were saying just, sorry, strobe, no, the smoke, exactly.
Migration is such a tough topic to explore because the first thing I asked him was like, why? Like, what do you want to say with this shit? Because it's too sensitive. It could be aestheticized very easily. And in the work itself, the tendency can be to come up with an answer. And we didn't want to fall into that trap. So in a sense, it started with migration, and it was just an exploration of it. It was no answer to some of these very challenging social, cultural, and political challenges that are obviously present in the work.
We wanted to tell stories, not like very specific narrative stories. We want to tell stories made of fragments so that people could find their own sort of way through it, through the story. There's lots of layers. I don't want to say too much what the story is because I want people to watch and listen. But yeah, we were interested in the idea of story and stories, and everybody has a story. Every human being has a different story, and we wanted to find sort of stories that people could relate to and would resonate with people. And this idea of fragmentation and displacement, I feel, is something that everybody can relate to in some way in this space and time that we're in.
No, I just think like this. Oh gosh.
Questo qui è la cosa, quello lì, e quello lì va indietro. Questo qui va indietro.
Bellissimo!
Allora, sì.
Se mi hai fatto vedere una cosa che arriva vicino alle cose le allontano. È bellissimo.
when people, I say I'm doing this thing, they say, are you filming the concert? I'm like, no, it's my concert. And like, what instruments are you playing? I'm playing my films. Like, everyone is so disoriented in like, what, you're playing your films? I'm like, yes, we are composing a film with the musicians together in this context.
Your frequency's better. Yeah.
I'm a literary, all I do is read. Statistics break down my news feeds. I'm a literacy, don't allow me to see beyond the body. Primitive algorithms, updated ad, infinite ad, infinite ad, infinite ad, infinite. Transcending letter on screens. Luminous suns upon laps and palms. That's when rappers turn to poets to decide their song.
Just press play and give it away. I don't know what's gonna happen. But it's because of all those years doing the open mics and the open reading and stuff, etc.
And I think Mo and Ian really understood the potential for all of us in the creation of a new piece. And there was a total openness, and also each of us knew exactly what we were bringing. So no one was sort of, everyone was in a listening mode with each other, which is the start of a good collaboration.
We're still sitting around, and we're the musicians, but we're still sitting around and we're all sharing ideas, and we're all saying what does and doesn't work, what edits in the music might be better, what edits in the film might work better. And so it's been quite a collaborative process in that way. It's not just filmmaker and musicians. We've really come together. And I think that's reflected in the piece, because the piece also is not something that is just a film with a soundtrack, nor is it just music with a visual accompaniment. It's very much a kind of conversation between all the different elements, which we felt was as an interesting approach, which we hadn't seen really before. So that's why we wanted to try and do something new as well.
Well, yeah, if you want to,
How's it feeling in there?
I was feeling good now. Like, yeah, if you want to, yeah, we'll tighten it up tonight. But I can give you this chunk now. Basically, everything's lined up now, so I can just give her a chunk of the audio for now.
Test it on your system.
Yeah, we'll definitely test it on mine as well. Cause
I think we're just testing how it sounds from the film and how it sounds from here.
Yeah. We'll do that later. Yeah, we'll just check that. So I'll have this audio now, so we can just check my side, your side, and all good.
Then I think the film is driven by both things, and that was the challenge. That's a really fun challenge to play with, though. We didn't want the film to be necessarily just driven by picture, so Rebecca seeing sounds and then going back and working with picture was like, that's what's exciting about it. And then also like the live element of it. There's moments where it's just a black screen and it's smoke and it is light. Yeah, this is another element that will be interesting in the live setting to play with.
I started filming, I must have been 18. I think I got my first camera, sort of like owned my first camera when I was 18. It was a very tiny Sony Cybershot 3.1. It was shooting, I think, 25 seconds with no sound at the time, and the image quality was terrible, and I loved it so much.
I don't want to be understood. I don't want to try and understand everything. Just trying to find a way to be present. I never want to do the same thing twice. I just had this draw lyric in my head. Told my shooter, don't let go, wait for the hand gesture first.
So intimate.
Put some music.
I see machines from the distance and from the bedside. Trenches deep, mud stained, warm, blood orange, squeezed. No, two whispers, one cold, vibrating, the other holding me in place. Two sides, same coin. Manningham, 95, stood in lines, back bend, felt strong, look string, sidestep, crops burn. My work extracted for desires of one consumer, consumers, consumption.
I've been making music since I was a child. My mother was a piano teacher, so I started playing the piano very early on, from about 6 years old. I was always more interested in making my own music than sort of being a performer or performing what was in front of me. And then I used to make little tapes when I was about 12 years old of heavy metal music, just using my voice, that sort of thing.
Look at the sea over there.
فرودگاه انگلیس هستش. بابا هستی ولی بابا اینجا نیستش. ولی ترمینال توی هستیم بله.
That's where philosophy begins. It's that moment of wonderment. And my mother thought that if I had an education, if I was able to learn in books and paintings, with music, and keep it within myself.
In a digital sense, I'm building live archives, you know? I'm looking into the world, whether that's YouTube. There's so much you can find in websites like that, or whether that's watching random television that's from satellites, or whether that's listening into live radio, just like consuming around me and then trying to make sense of it. It's not something I feel like I'm a master at yet whatsoever, but I really enjoy this idea of recontextualizing things I see. I think just like my mother, to some degree, I wanted to become a journalist.
The process has definitely been a bit challenging. It's not like, it's flowed, it's been organic, and we've all been very open and honest and sort of respectful of each other. But there's definitely been challenges in what I had expected the work to be to what it actually has become. And it's become something better than I imagined, but I think there's been challenges along the way to accept certain things and to let go of certain things that I thought would definitely be in the piece that are now not. And they're better for it, but the fact of having to let them go can be challenging because we all come with egos and ideas about what things are going to be. And then I think in the process of collaboration, it's important to let go of those egos.
Like meteors crash around you, will not confuse you. Like meteors crash around you, will not confuse you. Like meteors crash around you, will not confuse you. Will not confuse you. Will not
And this stuff doesn't really matter. I mean, you could, but there was really no ego. Like, it's been so easy to work with Rebecca and Ian. We were joking last night. We haven't fought once in 5 years, so it's a good sign. Because like we were comparing like other, how do you? Is that required almost? Like, how do you live within a band and like just absolutely fucking hate each other? It also just, does the process need that? Sometimes when things are going really just beautifully, you question it, but I don't know. I'm not gonna like cause a fight for the sake of causing a fight, That's been fun that way.
I trusted a team and the idea behind us working together, and we had a really open conversation about this project, and there was a very beautiful listening between all of us, and I felt that there was space for me to be exactly myself.
We're friends now as well, yeah. We've bonded just as people as well, which is really nice. It really helps the collaboration, I feel, to have this sort of common ground as people, and we're able to talk about the work together and push each other back and forth about the work and where it should go, but also just about personal things, and we talk about what's going on in the world, politically, culturally. So yeah, we've become friends through the process, which is like just a nice extra added element to it.
Truth seems to be scaring them. A war's going on outside.
I thought it would be just emotive in the music and the nature of the archival footage that we're using, but it's become more emotive in the terms of very human stories, human emotions, and a vulnerability that's sort of front and center, which is kind of a little scary, but also very exciting. I think we're all sort of a little bit outside of our comfort zone in many ways, and that often leads to very interesting work. And I think there's also an honesty there. That's certainly the hope, that there's an honesty from all of us in what we've contributed, and therefore an honesty in the piece, which is always something I really strive for in all my work, is just to be honest, to not try to be anything, to just allow the work to be. And I think we've achieved that.
I felt like sound has more revolutionary power than fact. And if sound could affect me in that way, then if you have any hope in the world, then the sonics of that hope I was interested in manifesting, I think that sampling allows for that to some extent because it's very human. It's not very sexy because we live in a world where experimental music is decided by sound design, these notions of sound design and fucking wizardry from a software sense. But I just don't want to lose the humanity of it,